Welcome back to Jikook lovers for a new video's viral. The moment began quietly, without announcements, without flashing headlines, without any warning that something unforgettable was about to unfold. Inside a dimly lit dance studio, where mirrors reflected years of sweat, discipline, and unspoken dreams, Jungkook and Jimin stood side by side. There was no stage, no roaring crowd, no blinding lights, only soft music humming through the speakers and two souls moving as one. Yet within minutes, what happened in that room sent a wave of emotion across the world, leaving ARMY everywhere breathless, teary-eyed, and deeply moved. From the very first step, it was clear this was not just a dance. It was a conversation without words, a story told through movement, eye contact, and shared rhythm. Jungkook's motions carried strength and precision, each gesture grounded and powerful. Beside him, Jimin flowed with an almost unreal grace, as if gravity itself had chosen to be gentler in that moment. Together, they created something far beyond choreography. It felt intimate, raw, and profoundly human. As the music played, their synchronization was flawless, but what truly captured hearts was the emotion behind it. Every turn, every pause, every breath between steps seemed filled with meaning. Jungkook glanced at Jimin with a familiar smile, one that spoke of years training together, of struggles faced behind closed doors, of laughter shared late at night when exhaustion weighed heavy. Jimin answered not with words, but with movement, his expressions shifting effortlessly from softness to intensity, as if translating emotions fans have felt for years but could never quite put into words. For ARMY, this moment felt like a gift wrapped in sincerity. Fans have always known about the deep bond between Jungkook and Jimin, often affectionately referred to as Jikook. But seeing it expressed so purely through dance was something else entirely. There was no performance mask here, no attempt to impress, only trust, complete and unwavering. Trust that the other would be there on the next beat. Trust that every move would land exactly where it needed to. Their movements mirrored each other so perfectly that it became difficult to tell where one ended and the other began. It was unity in its purest form. ARMY, watching from afar, through shared clips and whispered descriptions online, felt as though they were witnessing something sacred. Many admitted they watched in silence, unable to speak, their throats tight with emotion. Others confessed to crying without fully understanding why. Perhaps it was because this dance reminded them why they fell in love with BTS in the first place, not just for the music or the performances, but for the authenticity, the brotherhood, and the emotional honesty the group has always embodied. What made this moment even more powerful was its simplicity. There were no extravagant outfits, no elaborate sets. Jungkook wore comfortable practice clothes, his hair slightly damp with sweat, his eyes focused yet warm. Jimin, equally relaxed in his attire, moved with a natural elegance that required no embellishment. This stripped-down setting allowed their connection to shine without distraction. It was a reminder that true artistry does not need excess, it only needs sincerity. Fans quickly began interpreting the dance in their own ways. Some saw it as a reflection of their journey together, from trainees to global superstars. Others felt it symbolized comfort and healing, especially in times when the world feels heavy and uncertain. Many ARMY shared stories of how watching Jungkook and Jimin dance together gave them a sense of peace, as if, for just a moment, everything was going to be okay. The emotional impact was amplified by the unspoken understanding between the two dancers. Jungkook and Jimin have always shared a special chemistry built on mutual respect and genuine affection. Jungkook has often spoken about how much he admires Jimin's artistry and sensitivity, while Jimin has never hidden how deeply he cares for Jungkook, frequently praising his talent and dedication. In this dance, those feelings were no longer just words. They were visible, tangible, alive. Near the end, as the music softened almost to a whisper, Jungkook and Jimin slowed to a stop, standing close, breathing in sync. They exchanged a brief look. No smiles, no dramatic gestures, just a quiet acknowledgement of what they had shared. That single look sent waves through the fandom. It seemed to say, "We did this together, and thank you for being here." Social media soon overflowed with reactions. Fans described the dance as healing, comforting, and painfully beautiful. Some said it felt like a warm hug after a long, difficult day. Others called it a reminder of friendship, loyalty, and love that transcends words. Even longtime BTS followers admitted they were caught off guard by how deeply the simple studio dance affected them. In a world where performances are often polished to perfection, this moment stood out because of its honesty. Jungkook and Jimin didn't dance to prove anything, they danced because it felt natural. As the clip continued to circulate, fans began noticing small details that made it even more special. The way Jungkook subtly adjusted his timing to match Jimin's movements, the way Jimin instinctively leaned into Jungkook's energy, trusting him completely. These quiet moments spoke volumes about their teamwork and the unspoken communication built through years of working side by side. What truly made hearts melt was the sense of comfort radiating from the dance. There was no tension, no competition, only warmth. It felt like watching two people who genuinely enjoy being together, finding joy in shared movement. Inside that studio, the outside world seemed to fade away, leaving only music, motion, and mutual understanding. The emotional resonance of this moment also lay in its timing. At a time when fans long for reassurance and connection, Jungkook and Jimin offered something deeply personal without saying a single word. Through dance, they reminded ARMY that they are still here, still connected, still moving forward together. It was a quiet promise delivered not through speeches or statements, but through art. As the music faded and the dance came to an end, a lingering feeling remained, a sense of warmth, nostalgia, and hope intertwined. It was the kind of moment that doesn't demand attention, yet stays with you long after it's over. A moment that feels small on the surface, but vast in its emotional impact. In the end, Jungkook and Jimin's studio dance was never about perfection or spectacle. It was about connection, trust, and the silent language they speak best together.